Maud Ruthin is an educated young lady living with her father in a countryside manor, enjoying all the benefits of her father's wealth and her good upbringing. But when tragedy strikes, Maud is sent to live with her strange, reclusive uncle, Uncle Silas. Despite the change in scenery, Maud enjoys time with her cousin under her beloved uncle's care. But things aren't what they initially seem, and Maud starts slowly suspecting that she is perhaps surrounded by enemies with mysterious and nefarious motives. Hey bookworms, welcome back to my channel and to another retro review, the series on my channel where I talk about classic literature. And this time I have for you Uncle Silas by Sheridan Le Fanu, a Gothic novel from, of course, the 19th century. Now, in case you're new to the genre, Gothic novel is a literary genre which was especially popular in the 19th century, and it is characterized by dark atmosphere and having mystery and horror elements. Now, don't be misled by the word horror, although the definition of the word did not change since then. If you approach Gothic Victorian novels thinking you'll get The Exorcist or the Amityville Horror, you will be disappointed, and this book is awesome. So I don't want you to be disappointed by having unrealistic expectations. But before I get to the review itself, I just wanted to remind you that on this channel I talk about books from reviews to lists. And even though I don't always necessarily review classic literature, I made it a mission to bring them to an eye level and make them a little less intimidating. So if that is something you think you might find interesting after watching this video, why won't you browse my channel and see if there's anything else you might like there. I also have a couple of interesting links for you in the description below, so check them out as well. And now, let's talk Uncle Silas. So if you've seen my past reviews, you know I love anything dark and mysterious, and this book did have those themes, although I would put it more in the category of dark and atmospheric and less mysterious. Even though you are presented with many questions here, I felt the focus was more on the possible danger and less on the mystery itself. That is, however, not to say I disliked Uncle Silas. I really enjoyed it, and I will tell you why in a second. But before I do, I will say that the key to enjoying this novel is understanding what it is and what it is not. As I mentioned before, if you are reading it expecting a haunted house horror show or something, you will be disappointed. If you've never read a Victorian novel before and you don't know that they tend to take their time, you might be disappointed. So expect a brilliant, broody, and interesting slow burn, and you'll love it. And now let's talk in a little more detail, starting with the positives. As mentioned, this book was really interesting and therefore was a nice, fast read. This isn't a short book, mind you. I had it as an ebook and it was about almost 600 pages, but they just fly by. It has its shares of ups and downs when it comes to the action, you know, like pretty much any other book. But even when not a lot is going on, you still want to continue to read and know what will happen next. And one thing that contributes to it is the writing. Now, I can completely understand many people's reluctance to read older books due to the language not being what we speak today. And let me assure you that despite Uncle Silas being written in the middle of the 1800s, the language is very flowing and understandable, more than other works that I personally read from the same time period. Also, some characters speak in vernacular in the book, so you'll read their accents or dialects in the text. It was fun. I also have to commend the atmosphere, which is the main point of a Gothic novel. The book is a slow burn, and I feel like its slowness and light Gothic themes really work well here. You see, the book is very atmospheric, but it's not all gloom and doom. When Maud first moves in with Silas, things are positive and nice. It's little by little that we see cracks in the pleasant facade, which, in my eyes, made the dark conclusion more realistic. Maud is led slowly into danger, and due to things not being too obviously dangerous from the start, it's understandable why she doesn't suspect things from the beginning. I also really liked Maud as the protagonist. She was nice, charming, and clever. Yes, she was a little naive, but it was understandable. Why would a girl who grew up with money and private tutors have street smarts? but she was very likable and her kind nature earns her allies and friends. So I only read one other book by Le Fanu. It's called Carmilla, and it's a vampire story of a friendship between two women. And in both stories, I really liked how Le Fanu wrote female characters. They suffer from the same biases real women did at the time, mostly being treated as delicate simpletons and always dependent on men, but they were so powerful through their wits and kindness. But when it comes to negatives, my only complaint has to do with the flow of the book, and yes, I am aware that I just spent a few good minutes saying how good the flow was. Having said that, and appreciating that the book has its ups and downs when it comes to the interesting bits, the middle of the book was too much of a slow point, in my opinion. You see, around the midpoint, the plot almost comes to a halt and becomes this dark Jane Austen novel. The characters are still in a mysterious manner filled with dark secrets, but now they just go on walks and draw landscapes and drink tea and gossip on eligible bachelors. It's The Conjuring meets Gossip Girl. And I know someone who's read the book will comment on how important these scenes are because they set up some things that will happen later, and they will be correct. But I still just wish the downtime wasn't as long as it was. The last 30 pages of the book were so cool and suspenseful. I just wish these parts were a little longer. So to conclude, this book was so good, such a great atmospheric Gothic novel. I recommend this book to anyone who is interested in the genre, to people who want something atmospheric without bloody horror or without fantasy. And that is not a spoiler, it's not Scooby-Doo. The book does not have any fantastical elements in it. You do, however, need to know what you're getting into and understand that Gothic novels are not horror novels. And if you do that, I am sure you will enjoy this fascinating novel. And guys, that was my review on Uncle Silas. Thank you for watching my video. I really hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, don't forget to click the like button, subscribe to my channel, and click the notification bell so that you won't miss any bookish upload I make. Also, leave me a comment below and let me know if you like Gothic novels and what is your favorite one. Again, guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.